Havenites, it is April 1st. It is a Thursday night, and you know what that means. It means it's time for the Haven Comics Quiz Show. So if you like to see us ask questions, get answers, and hand out prizes, then you are in the right place. Stick around for a couple more minutes, and we'll be right back to do exactly that very thing I just described. And just like that, we're back. It's like the miracle of modern technology. How amazing. Who isn't excited about these things? I know somebody who's excited. He's so excited that he has probably had to urinate. How are you?
Probably. Hey, how are you? How's life?
It has been a week. Not gonna lie. It's been one of those ones where it kicks you in the teeth, and that hurts. My best friend since second grade just lost his 20-year-old son to brain cancer on Sunday. And so it's been a tough week. So that stinks, and I feel bad for my friend and for his whole family. That said, today is a big day.
Yeah.
You know why? You seriously, honestly don't know why?
I thought you did it tomorrow because it would have been a bad idea.
Well, correct. Yeah, today is Haven Eve. Because tomorrow marks the 20th birthday of Haven Comics. Your mug has eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oscar.
disconcerting.
He's a grouch.
If it was Oscar the Grouch, he would be orange.
He's turned green at this point. So, Haven, did you say 25 years? 30
20.
years?
20.
20. So, it can vote, can join the army, can't drink yet?
Correct. Yes, that's exactly right.
And catch it outside school smoking?
Oh, yeah. Real bad about that. Happens all the time. What do you say we pop over to the chat and see who we got in there tonight? Let's see who was fighting for that first commenting spot and who won. Looks like Zachary Jordan has jumped back on top of the leaderboard with the first comment. Zachary's always and the first comment was so eloquent too.
What do you say? First? Let me see.
No. It says, ah!
Pretty good.
I mean, that's some eloquent commentary there. And then he was bragging that at least he got on here before another Zach. So the Zachs are really going at each other. Name calling, gentlemen.
We're a family show.
Travis says, "Let the party begin." Jeffrey Middleton is popping on. Hey, Jeffrey, how you doing? Hey, we got Spider Girl 42 back in the house. That's awesome. Always glad to see her.
That means I'm gonna have a rough night.
Yeah, because she gives you a hard time. I don't know what it is, man. Something about you. Dean Pamplin, hey, how are you? Welcome to the show. I don't recall seeing your name on here before. Apologies if we have, but glad to have you, whether this is your first time or your 100th time. I just talked to somebody today who apparently has been lurking and watching the show, but without actually commenting or trying to answer questions. And so to all of you Parkers, yeah, I know who you are now. I know what you've been doing. Get your happy little fingers on the keyboards and type in some answers, because there's no penalty for being wrong. If you answer a question incorrectly, we don't send people over to your house with whips and torches and pitchforks. Although if we could, we probably would.
We do make fun of you just a little bit if your question is, or if your answer is funny, but that's it. That's all we'll do.
Well, we do get some funny answers periodically. That's the truth. Yeah, that happens. But yeah, so Parkers, come on now. You've been called out. I expect you to show up.
Hey, this is just for the Parkers. Everybody else, close your ears. Parkers, the answer to tonight's Canadian question is Ryan Reynolds. So that's just for you guys. Nobody else heard that. Parkers, just need you to step up.
Oh, Lord. Oh, see, look at that. Getting some love there.
Finally, somebody likes me. Thank you.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he did.
Alan Breedlove, welcome to the house. Thank you, Alice. I know you got your hands full trying to keep him in line. That's something. I understand Zachary dropped a prize by the store for us to hand out on the show today.
Oh yeah, do you have it?
Or yesterday? It might have been yesterday, but I haven't been up there yet.
I could not do it justice in the way that I explained it. So unless you physically have it to show people, I think
I do not. I do not. Well, we'll just have to hand it out next week.
Very cool.
Owen in the house, always the man who writes the questions that we will be torturing our guest with, which is always fun. The other Zach, striving for the funny answers more than the right answers. That's fair. That's fair. He does actually claim. Oh, look, you should probably get a screen cap of this because somebody has said these words, and you never know if that's going to happen again.
Zachary has a commission with me, so he's trying to butter me up.
Oh, that must be it.
He wants me to do it. So
and then nope, not given the Ryan Reynolds there. So, for anybody who doesn't know, tomorrow I actually make me full screen, will you? Because I got to show this off. Yeah, and for just so anybody who's wondering what exactly I've got this appended to the back of. For anybody who watches the Two Brothers Comics YouTube channel, because those guys rock, they have their top 10 lists most every week that they argue about and get into fights about. And so they sent me a Two Brothers Comics top 10 list. So for anything I need to make a top 10 of, I've got a pad of paper to do it. But on the back of this, because tomorrow is indeed Haven's birthday, April 2nd. We purposefully did not open on April 1st because we did not want people to think it was a joke when we advertised it. But we've got these handy dandy 20-year stickers for Haven, which pairs very nicely with your Haven. So this way you have to buy two things. Pairs very nicely with your Haven stickers, your Haven magnets, your Haven keychain, your Haven stabby things, all your various Haven accoutrement. But yes, 20 years. Tomorrow, April 2nd, marks 20 years of Haven Comics. So you need to get up to the store and show the store how much you love it by spending an obscene amount of money.
Or just saying hey. Just say hey. You don't have to do. It doesn't have to be obscene.
No. Saying hey is how you show the store you like it. How you show the store you love it is by spending an obscene amount of money.
Okay.
Kim saying, hey, thank you for our first official happy birthday this year. Somebody saying, hey, Uncle Alan. I'm going to assume that Uncle Alan is Alan Breedlove, and if not, we're going to have a talk with somebody. What's the Haven origin story? It's funny that you should ask that. And one of the reasons it's funny that you should ask what is the Haven origin story is because tonight's special guest that we have with us is none other than the person who originated the idea of Haven Comics. And he's looking away right now, so he doesn't know I'm about to do this, but I'm bringing on Mr. Matt Cuthbert. Matt Cuthbert, you are hereby accused, dare I say charged with, the crime of having thought up the idea of Haven Comics. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We just had somebody ask, what is the Haven origin story? So how did I've never actually asked you this. What went through your head where you said, comic book store? That's the ticket. I know we had some talks before it actually happened, but you had the idea. You're the one that called me.
Yeah. Essentially, I'd been hanging out at a lot of the stores in Huntsville. A lot of time spent at the Deep and Comic Shop 2 or Jennings, and realized that I'm spending 2 or 3 days a week going to these places, but I didn't enjoy being there as much time as I was spending there. And that's not a knock against the stores. It just wasn't set up in a way where I really wanted to hang out. And I thought it'd be much nicer if there was more of an atmosphere where instead of being there just to buy stuff and get out, that you could sit down and read for a little while. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom did not want to take me to the comic book store. And thinking back on that, I mean, you can tell why. If you think about most of the comic book stores you go to, they're dark and they're gross and they smell, and they've got a bunch of posters on the wall that moms look at and think, oh, I don't want my kid going in here. So we had the idea to come up with a store that would cater to more than just the comic book guy demographic, and open it up to everybody where you'd feel comfortable hanging out there.
And that's exactly the atmosphere we still strive to keep at Haven today. Keep it clean, keep it family friendly, keep it comfortable, and a nice hangout atmosphere. And that's partially why we named it Haven too.
Yeah.
Was we wanted it to be a place where you felt like you could just go and be, and everything was cool, and where you could hang out and talk about who would win, Batman or Thor or whatever. Kaylee's is glad we have a sticker. We do. We have a sticker.
We got 2 stickers. We're 200% the number of stickers we had before.
And Alan is pointing out how much he loves that Haunted Mansion print you've got behind you. Do you have things set up where you could give us a quick little tour of your thing down there? Because
it'll be
awesome.
Shaky, but I can do it. I just got to stand up and walk around with a laptop. But yeah, this so,
everybody, this is going to be worth it. Let's embiggen Matt on the screen.
I don't have a man cave so much as because the comic book stuff is mostly gone. My wife is not going to let us have a room dedicated to comics or Star Wars or something like that, but she also loves Disney as much as I do, so she's quite happy to let us have a room dedicated to Disney. So this is my not so manly man cave, but mostly it's just the walls are coated with Disney stuff. But we've got
excellent Sleeping Beauty poster there, gorgeous. I love that movie. Coco was such a great movie. Got some Nightmare Before Christmas, Lilo and Stitch, Pocahontas. That's not your normal Pocahontas poster there.
That's not normal Lilo and Stitch either. If you can look underneath the there.
I see that. Yeah. More Sleeping Beauty. Somebody likes Maleficent.
Yeah, Misty's a big fan.
Oh, I love the Belle poster there. That's awesome. You got
those
Elsa,
are all cool. Did you commission any of those, or
some of them I've paid for, and others I just printed offline. DeviantArt has a lot of stuff that you can just print, though I don't think that's the intent of the artist there.
Dude, you have got like these. This is awesome.
This one is a special one I picked up at Disney World when they were doing a special preview of Dumbo, the Tim Burton Dumbo. So it's patterned like
that's a great poster. Yeah. The poster's better than the movie.
Yeah, it is.
WALL-E, one of my favorites.
And so then if we go back down here, there's like all these Tsum Tsums down here.
Oh boy.
Got the Haunted Mansion.
That's great. You got somebody in the Doom buggy.
Yeah, I think that's
the house from Up and Kevin. Oh, that's great.
I love the young ones. That's great.
Your Brer Rabbit ride is about to go away.
I know.
Oh, you don't have the castle. Why don't you have the castle? You've got all the other pops with the rides. Oh, there's the castle. Okay, I missed it.
And then down here we've got the Disney Infinity, including the Peter Pan that was never released.
How'd you get that if it was never released?
There were some made, and so got it from somewhere in China.
Ah, yes.
Lots more Disney Infinity.
Wow. We need to see that door handle. I know that's a weird thing to say, but we need to see that.
Definitely.
But so now all Marvel
these things just. How many walls do you have down here? Because they just keep going.
This is the third wall we're on now.
Oh wow! They just keep going.
I don't know if you can't see that one very well. That's Rapunzel there, or
yes.
Tangled.
Okay, all the lanterns. I see. Yeah.
Cool.
You're getting the glare from the computer on it, but that's Paul and Ellie.
Yep.
You got to get your own prize cam to handle that problem. Those are beautiful. Wow.
Those are gorgeous. Wow. Oh, yeah, there you go. There is one in every family. That's true. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, man? But you're not Ryan. That jumped around on me. There he is. Got some Muppets there. That's good. Got some Wreck-It Ralph.
Hey, does anybody know who the pink rhino is in Wreck-It Ralph? I mean, I can identify everybody else, but that pink rhino, I'm just completely blanked on.
I like your carousel of progress. I do not know who the pink rhino is. I have to look that one up. Got your snow globes going on. Okay, we're back to this. All right, yeah.
Then, I guess on the way out the door.
This is awesome. From Alice in Wonderland. How awesome is that?
And actually, on the door, this is kind of stupid, but we did save this. If you ever bring your dog to one of the few resorts in Disney that allows you to bring your dog,
yeah,
get this hanger on their door that tells mousekeeping there's a dog in the room.
Excellent. So do they skip it, or do they just like open it and cross their fingers?
I don't know. I don't know what they did. But Daisy got her own. When she checked in, she got a little mat, and she got a couple of dog bowls. They gave her a little plastic bone filled with poo bags, and it was pretty cool, the stuff they gave the dog when she checked in.
They must not be too concerned about people taking those poop bags into the park and using them themselves instead of having to go to the room.
Their customer service is on point. I mean, like, nobody's better than customer service at Disney World.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at, Alan is jealous. It looks like I'm guessing that this is Nick and that Sky would like this. Spider Girl is a big fan, and she says we could just skip the quiz and stare at posters.
Yeah, this is my favorite room. I love being down here.
And, well, I would too. That's awesome. And I didn't see any windows, so in case of tornadoes, you can go and be surrounded by cool stuff. That's pretty good.
This is where we go.
Very nice.
I feel like you've shown us
a
lot about who you are. I'm excited to see this room. I'm excited to hear the story about Haven, but you can't get off the hook because I harangue everybody with these weird questions. So I pulled out a pretty cool one for you.
That's true.
If you could enter a simulation and experience anything you wanted and it felt real, what would you try?
Well, I can tell you right now, I wouldn't go back to Mustafar. I've done that at at Disney Springs where you do the Star Wars simulation.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrifying. But a simulation,
no Mustafar. What would you do?
I don't know. Probably something
deep in your
Star
brain.
Wars. That'd be like Cloud City comes to mind. That'd be pretty cool.
Awesome. Would you?
Cloud City would be pretty cool.
Would you just be there hanging out, or would you be in? What I want to.
Would you be an Ugnaught disassembling C-3PO? I mean,
no, I would just want to walk around and look at everything.
Couldn't walk very far in Cloud City. You'd have to hop on a ship and fly somewhere else.
I mean, the question was just thrown at me out of the blue. So that was just the first thing that popped into my head. That sounded like a cool place to go if I could do a simulation of some place.
Cloud City would be pretty impressive, I have to say.
If you want to hold on and answer later, you can. Also, audience, this is a good question. Let's not let it go to waste. Answer: if you could be in a simulator, what would you do? What would you simulate? And nobody ever talks about this book, but it's one of my absolute favorites. I see it there on your blankets. I see it there on your bookshelf. One of my favorite comic books of all time. So shout out to that. Yeah, everybody's.
What are you showing us?
Blankets.
Oh, blankets. Yes,
Yeah,
I remember that.
Completely one of the absolute best comic books of all time, and completely underrated. Nobody ever puts that on their top 10 list, but it's nice to see somebody else who has it.
You know, that's not bad.
I'd be in a Little Mermaid simulator. That'd be fun.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Yeah, there you go. See, Kaylee's is chiming in with this blankets thing, too.
That's great. It's great. I love that Justin Lynch is all he wants is to be the guy with the ice cream machine. Like, Justin, you can do that. That's an achievable goal. Just buy an ice cream machine.
Yeah, but Justin's got a restraining order. He's not allowed to go near people. Oh, That's so great. Well,
You guys
that's
want to cut
awesome.
to the prize cam?
Yeah,
So
I
we
think
can
we should
win?
cut to the prize cam and see what we're handing out this week.
Okay. If you
And
haven't,
what prizes you stand to win, Matt?
if you guys haven't been on the show, haven't seen the show coming up, you are going to check out all the prizes that we've got this week. The rule is Matt has first crack at any question we answer, but audience, you're next. If Matt doesn't get it right, I don't want to tease him too much because I just met him, but the guests never get it right. They're never going to get them right. So you just need to be the first person to answer the question correctly, and then you get whatever the prize is. Also, Matt, I know you're going to get a lot of these right. You're great. Probably all 10, including the audience question. So what we have up today, we've got our ubiquitous Feely things and stickers that always love to make an appearance. We've got a variant comic book right there of MODOK. That comic, that cartoon is coming out. I'm pretty excited about some of the names I'm seeing attached to that. We've got, I saw him earlier, Tom.
I saw
Price
Tom pop on too, yeah.
This
That's a
is
gorgeous looking cover.
Sketch cover drawn by Tom Price. He donates a lot of his work to the show. This one is especially creepy. We have a bag here by Christine of the child. What's his name? You said it earlier, Ugnaught.
Yogurt.
And then
Yogurt.
And then above that, this is a print that I made of Dr. Fate. So sketched and colored by a longtime collaborator of mine, Panat Sansawan. And then you'll also see in the back here, we have another drawing of Cowboy Bebop. I actually did that in a challenge with Tom Price. We were just drawing things that we don't draw that often at Spike Spiegel. We've got a G.I. Joe mystery toy. So you got to let us know what you break out of that. If
So
you
Alan can finally find out he can finally win a G.I. Joe prize. Is that what you're saying?
That's why I put it in here. Just Alan threw you a little bone. And then Josh, talk to me more about this right next to it.
Well, I can't see it, but I'm pretty sure that's the book that was signed by Gail Simone.
Absolutely, it is.
Yes.
Gail Simone. I love Gail Simone. I was excited to see this.
Gail Simone's awesome, and I was really glad to get something with her signature on it, so we can hand that out as a prize. We got somebody asking what Cowboy Bebop is, and Matt, I know you know what Cowboy Bebop is. What's Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop's an anime that came out, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. I think it only ran for about, 15 episodes. But
it sounds right.
There's 4 main characters. They're bounty hunters, and they have a corgi that they adopt in the second episode. And in one episode, the corgi eats a bunch of mushrooms and gets a little wild. I think there is a movie that stemmed from the series too.
Yeah, the OVA. Right.
What people don't know is that back in the day when Haven first opened, one of the things we did was, because it was a thing that still happened back then, was video rentals, like DVDs. And we had a whole bunch of anime, and the one that was constantly rented out was Cowboy Bebop. That one was always rented out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, in fact, the anime rented so much. We also had, we made a point of getting every comic book, movie, or series we could get our hands on. I mean, just stupid, obscure stuff. We didn't have, Fantastic Four movie or we might have had the Captain America movie.
We did have the Captain America.
The early 90s Captain America movie.
That weird one, yes.
Yeah. The Punisher movies that nobody's actually seen, stuff like that.
Dolph Lundgren, yes.
The original black and white Superman live action series, and no one ever rented any of this stuff. No one cared about any of the comic book stuff, but the anime always rented.
It's true. It always did. But Cowboy Bebop was the one that was always out.
Because it was awesome.
It is awesome, yeah.
Well, we know what the prizes are.
I got a
Go ahead.
shirt right here. Look,
I saw that earlier. Yeah.
I went through my
old
closet today
or is that I'm
trying to pick out the nerdiest shirt I could find for this show, and I came up with this.
That's pretty good. That's
awesome. Rock on. Well done, Matt. That's amazing.
Somebody in the chat was asking what was the book behind me with the yellow spines.
Yes, that was Owen.
That's Bendis and Oming wrote
it's Powers.
Or wrote in their Powers.
So one of the things that we often ask people, what was your gateway into this nerdliness that is Haven and comics and all this stuff? What spiked in your brain at a young age that made you go, I love this stuff?
Yeah, and I thought someone would ask this, so I pulled them out, anticipating the question. So the first comic I ever bought was Transformers. It was this issue.
Rock on?
Yeah, it was this exact comic was first comic I ever bought. I think it was at Walgreens where they sold those little 3-packs of comics.
Yes.
You see those like at drugstores or at Toys R Us. And I thought, well, that looks cool because I was watching Transformers on TV at the time, and it got me 3 comics for probably at the time it was like $1. I don't know. And I enjoyed it. And then they also had a 3-pack of X-Men that I ended up buying, a couple weeks later. And so I got into reading X-Men pretty soon after that. And then, started reading Spider-Man, and, it kind of spiraled from there. But then went to college and realized I can't afford this anymore. And I quit reading comics for quite a long time. And then as an adult, when I'd started my career, I read this article in Huntsville Times about a comic, and it's just kind of a throwaway, like, isn't this neat? There was a comic coming out that was featuring then Governor Don Siegelman. I thought, well, that sounds funny. I'm going to go pick that up. I'm going to find a comic book store in town and pick this thing up. And it was this issue of Impulse. I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually, I got it signed by Ethan Van Sciver, and it is signed by former Governor Don Siegelman, former inmate Don Siegelman as well.
That's amazing.
So that just, it landed me just basically as an adult going to a comic book store and starting to look at comics again. And when I was there, I saw, this is crap. This is not worth reading. It's stupid, but it was fun. There was plenty of other really good stuff there that intrigued me, and I started picking some things up and reading some things that were really good, like Strangers in Paradise and The Waiting Place and Top 10, just things that immediately I started thinking, this is great. Why am I not reading comics anymore? And I started reading Kevin Smith's Daredevil that was coming out at the time, and I found that immediately I've got this list of like 20 books that I'm reading every month, and it just drew me right back in to eventually within next couple of years, the story I've already told about, realizing I'm spending so much time doing this. Why don't I make something more out of it?
It is really amazing to meet one of the founders of Haven. And, yeah, knowing what some of the questions are, I feel like Owen should have made this way harder on you.
You never know, though. When you're put on the spot, sometimes it gets harder to answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So for everybody, Haven is 20 years old tomorrow. Haven would not exist without Matt. So I'm super glad that you were able to come on and join us tonight for a little early celebration. If we could all actually be in the same room, we would have cake and stuff, and it would be awesome. Man, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to talk to you. I'm so glad to tour your freaking room down there. That's amazing. I just kind of want to come and hang out down there and stare at the walls for a while.
You're welcome. You can come on by.
Gorgeous stuff. Can I pet the corgi while I do that? That would be awesome.
The one on his shirt? Because
I
want out of here. We're getting that right.
She's been to Haven before. She's hung out on the couch at Haven for the day. She loved it.
Yeah. We had somebody, one of our families at Haven. You remember Lamar, right?
Yes.
Lamar and they had all their kids, and now their kids have grown up, and they had some little tiny Batman furniture, this little couch and these little chairs. Well, this little tiny Batman couch, it was perfect height for a dog. So when our dog Benji would come up to the store, he wouldn't lay down. He wouldn't do anything unless we got that little couch out for him, and he would just that was perfect, and he loved it. But it's perfect for a small dog, so we still have it around for small dog use. Because dogs are welcome. We love dogs.
I'm really surprised that Daisy's not down here now, because whenever anybody comes down in the basement, she tries to get it's her favorite room too, because it's the only couch that she can get on is down here. So she always come down here.
I bet she likes that. Yeah. Well, let's see what our first prize is, and then let's start asking some questions.
Yeah, I think I'm really stoked to meet you, and I'm really excited to play. The video gets me hyped. All right, so we're going to cut over to the prize cam. We are playing, first and foremost, for some Haven comic stickers and this stabby thing, which, you know, cause whatever level of damage you want with this. Roll your d20. I think it is capable of extreme harm, but you can be courteous. I mean, what's your alignment? We'll all find out in time. So, question number one.
I forget what somebody in the I think it was Zachary Jordan earlier in the comments called that a beatus sticker. checking your beatus.
Yeah.
Check your blood level.
Man, Matt. Owen, go in and make these harder. What company did Baloo work for in the Disney series Tailspin?
I'm a big Disney fan, but I wouldn't have got that.
Well, this isn't like one of the mainstay movie properties, so maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we stumped him.
You did. I mean, I've been watching Tailspin. I know what it is, and I've met the characters dressed as their Tailspin characters at Disney World, but I don't have a clue.
Perfect. All right. I apologize, Owen. You're right on. This is exactly the speed it needed to be. Oh, and I got to address up here. Kim asked if my name meant that I was a human or if my name was Human Jeremy, and the mystery is solved. I just am a human. So that's all my name meant. I changed right there, so hopefully it's clear. All right. So are you passing? Because if you're passing,
you pass. He has to at least guess something.
You have to guess something.
I'm gonna think of like the Rescuers, where the Albatross Airlines was named after Orville in one movie and then Wilbur in the other movie. So I'll say Albatross Airlines, because why not? I don't know any other.
That's not the right
answer. That's a logical reason to guess that. That makes total sense.
But
I mean, it's wrong. It's awesome.
I don't see anybody in the comments with a right answer, and that's pretty
I'm liking
rare.
some of the names, though. I mean, we got Baloo Express. That's not right. The Bare Necessities. I dig that.
That's pretty good.
Bare Necessities and Bel Air. What about Bear Air? That'd be good.
That's pretty good too.
Derriere would have been funny.
I think I'm going to call it. It is Hire for Hire, which is a cool name, but I wouldn't have.
It's like Heroes for Hire, except it's Hire for Hire.
Hit the button. I think Kaylee's is asking for this. I do have that at my disposal.
Wow, the first question out of the gate, and we're already like timed out. No prizes, no sticky things for you, audience or guest. That's impressive.
Yeah. Owen.
No, I did. But Tailspin was one of the ones that kind of came up later, and it was never as good. If we're honest, I mean, come on, it was no DuckTales. It was no Darkwing Duck.
I mean, the Gummy Bears. I watched a lot of that.
Gummy Bears were great. And I will say, if you haven't gone back and watched Gummy Bears on Disney Plus, it is well worth watching. It's a great, it holds up. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers holds up less well.
You know, I've got to add to this conversation.
Ouch.
Yeah, I saw this. You know, Spider-Girl 42, that's what I was thinking this whole time. Yep. It's a long time ago. I'm not going to watch Chip and Dale's on Disney Plus. I'm not going to do it. So it's
Gargoyles. Gargoyles was great.
I love Gargoyles.
That one holds up.
Too.
The only thing that's really out of place is all the mullets.
Yeah, that one's on my in my Disney Plus queue. I've got to get around to Gargoyles someday. So I have not seen it. But
it's a surprisingly mature level for a kid's cartoon. The stuff they deal with, the stuff they expect a kid to be able to keep track of, the jumping back and forth between present day and past, and it's impressive, but it works well. It's a great show.
I love that show. But you guys really go back and rewatch these like 30-year-old cartoons just for fun?
I remember trying that when we were at Haven, or when we were at Haven, when I was at Haven, when in the early days, we got the Transformers cartoon, the original one, came out on VHS, and we had those. And I rewatched the first couple of them and thought, wow, these are so bad.
Painful.
I loved them as a child, but I could not rewatch them.
Yeah, it's painful. But I will say, Gummy Bears absolutely holds up. Gargoyles holds up. It's fantastic. The one that drops the ball and does not hold up is definitely, for me, Chip and Dale. That one did not work. I watched a couple episodes of that and I was like, nope, I can't do it. I'm out. Well, what's our next prize here, Jeremy?
The next prize, we're going to cut to the prize cam to see. It's a bunch of gelatinous feely things. Some people call them erasers, but that's wrong. They are just squishy little lovable monstrosities. And I'm going to cut in.
There he is. I was looking for him and I couldn't find him. But our prize cam knows how to zoom in on little Ghost Rider.
As you can see, they're Marvel characters that kind of look like they were made out of Jell-O. So that's what we're playing for.
That's a question for you, Jeremy.
I don't care. I love it now. I'm not thinking about how it's going to be in 2040.
Also, I hope there's not a Rick and Morty question in here. It seems like every episode there's a Rick and Morty question, and I've never seen Rick and Morty. I'm sorry.
I know, it's painful.
There's a Rick and Morty question because Rick and Morty is a cultural phenomenon. It is amazing. You don't have to like it. That's fine.
I don't know if I like it. I haven't seen it.
Well, there you go. Do you hear him, Josh? He's undecided.
Yeah, I understand. He probably hasn't been exposed to a constant stream of this nonsense like I have.
I mean, I have the internet. I've seen memes and stuff. I've just never watched an episode.
Hey,
you haven't had people at the store talking about it for hours on end.
Well, you know what, Josh? I don't like G.I. Joe. All right, so
whoa.
It's a good thing we're in the same room.
Don't like it.
So, Matt, doesn't like G.I. Joe. That's not even American. Anyway, we have some gelatinous feely things that we have got on the prize block. And we're going to ask you a question and see if you can win them. You ready? You ready for this? Okay. In the 1990 Dick Tracy film, what classic television legend played D.A. Fletcher, the character whose murder Tracy gets framed for?
Wow.
What classic television legend played D.A. Fletcher, the character whose murder Dick Tracy gets framed for?
What one of the movies does that happen? Is that toward the middle? Man, it's been a long time since I saw that at the theater. I'm gonna have to guess. I'll say Peter Falk. I don't think Peter Falk is in that movie, but
well, Owen is trying to give you a hint here, and I will put that up. It is the most classic TV legend.
Yeah, most classic. I'm gonna agree.
Does the word "most" mean a particular thing?
No, don't overthink it.
Okay.
When you say classic for American TV, is this guy
Bob Hope?
Pretty good. Is that your final answer?
That's a legit guess.
No, I don't think it's either one of these people I've said. There's just guesses that if the most classic.
See, here's another wrong guess.
Johnny Carson.
Pretty good.
That's wrong. That's wrong. These are all good guesses, but wrong. The correct answer, I do see one on here, is Dick Van Dyke. And you wouldn't necessarily think it because they did the thing they did with all the characters in that movie with the makeup and everything, and he's got a big chin, and it doesn't look like Dick Van Dyke.
Nobody in that movie really do, though. I mean,
no.
There's crazy makeup in that movie.
Yeah, it's insane. I can't decide whether they had a really great time being in that movie or if they hated every minute of it.
Maybe both.
That's a good question, though, because you wrap Disney into comics right there. I mean, Dick Van Dyke is a Disney legend, so.
Yep. Now, were you aware of the fact that for a while at Disney MGM Studios that they did a show called Dick Tracy's Diamond Double Cross?
No.
No, was that over there where they also had that awful Pirates of the Caribbean sort of?
No, it was over where it's in a place that got demolished so they could build the car stunt show,
which is also gone,
which is now gone, and now it's Star Wars. But other shows that they had at Disney MGM Studios, ones that you would never think. Okay, they had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. They had a Power Rangers show.
Now that I knew. That's the only one I knew.
Get this one. They had an Ace Ventura Pet Detective show. Oh, righty then.
You know they're making another
at a Disney park.
They're making another Ace Ventura movie with the same guys that wrote Sonic the Hedgehog, the new one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm into it.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe that's how they got Jim Carrey. Maybe they said, like, hey, we'll do this thing if you come do Dr. Robotnik, which he nailed. So.
Okay, well, good to know about Dick Tracy. I did not know that.
I'm going to cut to the prize cam. The next thing.
Hey, I just like this right here. That's the quote of the night right there.
She said she forgot to guess, but the show's being so great. So, Spider-Girl, thank you. I know that had nothing to do with me, but
she's watching another show.
She's watching another show.
Turn gargoyles on in the background or something.
For question number 3.
Well, she might be out fighting crime. She's Spider-Girl.
Watching Cowboy Bebop.
I gotta embiggen this a little bit because it's hard to really see. So this is a Spike Spiegel I drew. It's not perfect anime. It's kind of a blend of my style and kind of an anime look. And it's on craft paper with ink and the white gel pen. That was a challenge I did with Tom Price. Everything he did was way better than mine anyway, so whatever. But I'm really psyched about that show. Hey, I didn't say Ace Ventura was my jam. I said that it's cool that they're doing it. It is of cultural relevance. From an anthropological point of view, I'm happy that it's happening. So, also, Bill and Ted does suck. So, I mean, you're right about that. Okay, guys. So that's question 3. I'm going to also take a quick second to plug something. I just dropped a Kickstarter for a new comic book that I'm working on.
Yes, you did.
It's called Passion Fruit. It is a small romance comic. I'm going to say it's probably even safe for work. And
Dash that back up on the screen again, because that's way prettier than any of us.
And I'm going to go ahead and just drop the link in the chat here. So you'll see that's the link. I just put it in wherever you're watching it. If you wanted to check it out, be my guest. If you don't and you hate comics, that's fine too. You can like whatever you like. I got no hate if you choose to like something else, like Rick and Morty, because it's the best. Okay, so question 3.
Now, most of your comics are a little bit on the horror-themed side, right?
Sure, yeah.
And this one is not. This one is just more of a straight romance.
Yeah, okay. So the first comic that I did is about a guy that takes hallucinogens to try and see his girlfriend who died the week before, right? So, like, it's probably a drama, but when he sees what he sees when he takes the hallucinogens, and I'm going to say maybe it gets into horror-esque. But drama
it's
horror.
called When You Bleed to Death.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not exactly like a walk in the park.
That is from the first chapter of a novel that I wrote. I'm pretty psyched about that novel. That was 2014. And then I did a bunch of short stories. And my thing about like communication in general is you meet somebody where they are, right? So like you write a novel, some people aren't going to read no matter what. The way I wrote the novel, it was in 5-page chapters. So when you read it, it's impossible to be like, well, this is too long. I don't want to read this, right? That was the idea for people who are a little bit ADD. And then I just take that a step farther. So the Brief But Unsettling home videos was the last thing I did. It was straight up horror. Those were just some horror short stories that I'd written. Some of them were published. One was new. And then I also did a zine. So it's like a chapbook-esque kind of thing. It was short stories with accompanying art. You can get all of those in this Kickstarter too, if you want it.
Yeah, if you back the Kickstarter, you can add on all that other stuff. And I strongly
Yeah.
recommend it. And if you don't want to back the Kickstarter, but you do want to get the book, they will be available at Haven. I know a guy.
And so you got a significant number of copies of this new one, but I also would like to switch it up a little bit. You can get as many copies of whatever you want. So it doesn't have to be just this one. So maybe you'll have more at Haven. Who knows? Or you could back me directly. Whatever you want to do. Who knows? We'll see. Haven variant. We got to talk about that. We got to see. Okay. Question 3.
Dun,
Go
dun,
deep
dun.
into your Marvel lore here. In the X-Men comic, what was Kitty Pryde's first code name?
Sprite.
Perfect. Nailed it. She was Sprite well before she was Shadowcat. And she's been a bunch of other things, right? Ariel? Weird.
Yeah, she changes code names like most people change underwear.
Yeah. So, once or twice a year?
Yeah, you inside, outside, front to back to front. Yeah. Every few days. So you just won that awesome Cowboy Bebop art.
Nice.
So check you out with your timely answer, just right out of the park.
I'm just glad I didn't end up with 0 for the night.
Not much chance of that, I don't think.
The rest of the show.
Because I'm pretty sure this next one is going to be right up your alley.
Oh, yeah.
And the next one is, what's our prize, Jeremy?
Let's cut to the prize cam for this G.I. Joe mystery toy. So
that's something that Jeremy hates and thinks has no value.
I don't hate it. I just don't enjoy it.
He doesn't know what the value is because he doesn't know what's inside it.
That's true. I'm sure there's a dollar value attached to this. I just don't.
Well, the funny thing about that, though, is Jeremy is more than any other person I've ever met in my life. If it's a mystery and it's in a box, Jeremy just has to know.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to open that. He wants to find out what's in it, even if he thinks he's going to hate it.
I know. Yeah. I know.
He
I
just
don't
feels
want what's
like he
inside.
has
I
to.
still want to open it.
I know I won't even like it. Oh, where's Cowboy Rocksteady? Cowboy Bebop and Rocksteady. I got you. Trust Ryan to come in with the TMNT jokes.
Hey, so Alan just said, I don't know why he just said this, but he said he doesn't want this prize even if he wins. So sorry, Alan.
What's in the box? We had 2 people doing it. If that is indeed Gwyneth Paltrow's head inside that box.
Oh, man.
If that's the case, then her head has clearly been on the Jungle Cruise attraction at Disney World because it's much smaller than it should be.
See, I hear what's in the box, and I think of Wheel of Fish from UHF.
God, UHF, I haven't thought of that movie in forever. That's a great one. Way to go, Weird Al.
There's nothing in the box. Absolutely nothing.
True. Okay, so question number 4, which you are pretty much guaranteed to get, I think. What
Draw it out, act like I don't know.
That's up to you, man. However you want to play the drama. What chief god of the Sumerians did Conan the Barbarian worship?
This is the one I'm guaranteed to get.
Surely you will, because he says it all the time. If you've ever watched, read, heard anything with Conan, you've heard this.
No. I hate to disappoint you, Josh. Not watched, read, or heard anything with Conan. I mean, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger played Conan in the movie, but I have not watched it.
Just make a painful guttural noise, and you're halfway there. You might get it.
Get to the chopper!
So this is the god he what?
Worships.
I mean, worship this god.
It's
this guy.
the one that he calls on all the time.
Oh. Wow. I love how y'all think this is the easy one.
Hey, I don't know you like Josh knows you. He thought this was easy for you. He thought you just know
Josh
this.
is thinking along the lines of my age and when I grew up and what movies I would have seen at that time, but I just never happened to see this. So I saw the other day there was a question, or the other day, one of the earlier episodes, there was a question about Krull, I think, and whatever weapon was in Krull. And I thought, I've never seen Krull. I don't know, but
that Ninja Star.
yeah. I mean, I thought I've seen the VHS box at the store, but I've never actually watched that movie. I knew exactly what the poster looked like, but I'm gonna pass on the what god does Conan worship. I don't know.
I will let you pass if you say any one single word as an answer. That's it. That's how it has to work. You got to say something.
Ugnaught.
Okay, that's not it.
Although, can you picture Ugnaughts running around in Conan? All those little pig-looking dudes with their little tusks and their little hair and saying, I have spoken.
Based on what I see,
that.
It looks like
Travis
was
Goodwin.
the first person to get right. Yeah. Congratulations, Travis.
By Crom. He always says that. By Crom this, by Crom that.
I didn't know that was a Conan thing.
Yeah.
I've heard people say by Crom. What I'm talking about.
That's bad.
And I will say, judging by how many people got the answer correct, there were a ton. Everybody had that one.
A bunch of Cromulites. And
we're getting corrected here.
What is, I mean,
a glaive
versus
not a ninja star.
Come on,
get it right, Jeremy. Who do you think you are?
It was a pointy, stabby thing.
With a bunch of different. I mean, it's got little sides, and you throw it. And I mean, what do I? An expert on glaives? No. All right, guys.
What are you an expert on? If you were to say, I am an expert on this thing, and
Nothing.
people should come to me for this.
Oh, you're setting me up for a real estate thing?
I was.
I'm
See,
pretty
man,
good.
if you ever decide to move back to Huntsville, you just call Jeremy and he will magic you up a house.
Mm-hmm. That's how it works now. You just magic it. You don't have to painfully slog through everyone moving to Huntsville at the same time. I'm pretty good at real estate and maybe drawing, but real estate's good. But I'm not an expert in anything. Nobody is. Everybody can learn from everybody. That's my.
You'd have to find me a basement where I can do this again.
All right. I am on the lookout for a basement for you.
A Disney basement. One that has a full ride through of It's a Small World already built.
Okay. I'll give you a call when I find that exactly. That sounds like a tall order. All right, guys. This is not the real estate question of the night. It is, in fact, That means that only the audience can play, and what we're playing for is 25 beautiful Haven dollars. It took me a second to connect, Haven and beautiful. So sorry about that, guys. But 25 Haven dollars. They're like Bitcoin in that they only have value if you cash them. So nobody wants to do that. But we're going to celebrate some Canadian lore, mythology, and/or people in this question. Matt, you cannot answer this. So are you?
There. You know what? Let me just gently preface this without giving anything away because I don't know what the question is.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a Canadian question, and
yes,
I'm
sir.
the guest today, there's a very good question, Josh, that you could ask.
You do have a question.
Josh once proposed to someone.
Oh, well, yeah.
Was it your wife?
Oh no, I've
No.
proposed to lots of people. I proposed to Ann
no.
Curry on the Today Show.
It has nothing to do with the proposal. I can't. I'll just wait till I hear the question, then I'll point out the other Canadian thing you should have asked if you don't ask this.
But Matt, you can't answer the question, just so you know.
Yeah, he just wants to point out where we could have asked.
Okay, but we can trust you not to blurt it out. Okay, perfect. Audience, this is just for you. What famous Canadian, like they aren't all, who is a veteran of 2 comic property film adaptations, got their start playing Trina Leahy, am I saying that right? In the Canadian comedy series The Trailer Park Boys. I have no idea. I've never seen this. So am I saying that right? Somebody correct me.
I do know this one.
Okay. That sucks for you. Sorry. Audience, who is it? Really? I didn't know this.
You've never seen Trailer Park Boys?
No, and I didn't know that this person got their start from it.
Well, I have to tell you, you need to watch Trailer Park Boys.
It's fantastic.
I'll give it a shot.
It's excellent. It's excellent, and I think it's right up your alley. We got a correct answer pretty darn quick.
The prize cam is yelling no from the other room, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be watching Trailer Park Boys.
That's just because the prize cam thinks it's going to give you an accurate picture of Canada, and she wants you to still have the Disneyfied version of Canada in your head. Canada, my Canada. She wants you to have that in your head. She doesn't want you to have Trailer Park Boys in your head.
So, you know what? We have 2 right answers back to back, and they're both right. So I'm going to give it to both people.
Hang on a second. I want to make sure that Who are you seeing that's got the right answer first?
I'm seeing Ryan, and I'm seeing Ashley.
Okay. Those are also the ones?
Yeah.
Those are also the ones that I am seeing. So most excellent. Because there were 2 correct answers, and Ryan got one of them, and Ashley got the other.
And we're going to count both of those. Ellen or Elliot Page, both are fair, both count. So we're going to throw in another $25 gift card to Haven Comics. That's 1 to Ryan Williams and 1 to Ashley. I'm going to say this right. Seja? Correct me if I'm wrong, Seja. I want to get it right. And then Kim's getting a lot of... You do it.
We're both hitting the button at the same time.
Kim's getting a lot of random spam calls from Canada.
If it's from Canada, you should probably answer it. They're probably trying to offer you money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Or it's Wolverine if it's coming from Alberta.
Seja.
I'm going to get it right. If I met you in person and you said it, then I would know. So I'm just trying to remember, which everybody knows is hard for me because I'm an idiot. Let's move on.
Well, he was just trying to sound it out, phonetically. He was sounding it out. So, you're sorry your car warranty is expired, eh? Oh, yeah, we're so sorry, but your extended warranty has expired. Yeah. So, Matt, what question were you thinking that we should ask?
Not a particular question per se, but the proposal I was referring to when you proposed to someone, the woman who played Anne of Green Gables.
Yes, Megan follows.
My name is Matthew Cuthbert.
Yes.
So, Matthew Cuthbert, famous Canadian.
This is correct.
Oh!
Yeah. And Green Gables.
Yeah, Matt and Marla Cuthbert were the brother and sister who adopted Anne of Green Gables. And it's funny. As a matter of fact, I know someone who dated you because they're like, this dude's name is Matt Cuthbert. He must be the best human being ever. And ultimately, y'all were like, that's not really a good basis for dating.
It's not.
So you didn't. But that said, it's pretty awesome. And Jeremy has an emergency. Are you all good?
I had an alarm go off. That's it. So I stopped it.
Do you need to use one of these to check your blood sugar? Here, have one.
Yes.
Check your beatus.
Oh man.
All
Matt,
right.
You were telling a story. Did we wrap it up? You're not actually a good person or person to date, is what you're saying.
Based on the fact that my name matches a character in Anne of Green Gables.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
he's a
probably-
good guy. He's a real good character, but
Yeah, he is.
I'm not him. I mean,
No
I'm
matter how hard you try.
not an old man yet. I'm working on it.
No. And when your hair has lightened up a little bit, but you still got some Conan O'Brien there a little bit, which is impressive. Good for you. I still don't look like anybody valuable.
I got 2 teenage girls, so the fact that I've got hair at all is impressive.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. It looks like they keep you moving, though. You guys are out hiking all the time. So if you guys see Matt out in the woods, he's not taking people off to kill them. They just walk around a lot.
Good alibi.
As far as I know.
Yeah, we're doing Walls of Jericho this weekend.
Well, that's a bit of a hike. That's a lot of vertical once you get down toward the end there. So, but you'll be fine. You guys, y'all are very fit and healthy people. So what is our next prize, Jeremy?
Our next prize is actually MODOK variant.
MODOK!
As you can see here, this is one. If the prize cam would scroll down, I have forgotten his name. I need to see it. Yep, Scotty Young. Scotty Young is actually an amazing artist, but he has decided that he just wants to draw every Marvel character as if they were in Winnie the Pooh. So that's what this is. Some people love them. I think they're cute. I got a bunch of little cutouts for my daughter of this style. So let us know in the comments if you're into Scotty Young variant covers, because we got a bunch of them.
Because we have a bunch.
More.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so the winner of this question, the person that correctly answers this, will win this comic book.
John H. is on. Andrew has joined us. Always good to have
Andrew,
more
good to see you.
folks on. Thank you all for coming. So, for your own Scotty Young variant cover of MODOK, the goofiest looking superhero of all time, or villain of all time, we're not even going to ask you what MODOK is an acronym for, because it is, in fact, an acronym. Instead, what we're going to ask you is, what non-superhero 1986 box office bomb was Marvel Comics' first major motion picture? It was produced by Lucasfilm and is the lowest rated Lucasfilm production on Rotten Tomatoes because it sucked. And yet people
it did suck. I love it, but it sucked.
Yeah, this one's. I mean, you had me at hello, Josh. The moment you started saying what 1986, like I know what this one is. It's Howard.
Yeah.
Howard the what?
Howard the Duck, and he is
nailed it.
He's in at least one other Marvel movie already, and
correct.
Already, his role there was much better.
He is in 3, I think. He's in both Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he is actually in Endgame.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the final battle, Howard the Duck is pulled in to fight Thanos. He's actually there if you stop in the right thing. Like, it's a ridiculous split second, just like rotoscoped him into one panel kind of thing. But yep, Howard the Duck.
I'll go find it.
I feel like this is really spiraling out of control here. I'm getting nervous now.
But Tim Robbins was in that movie. Leah Thompson. It's shocking that the movie was as bad as it was.
Also that
the movie is great.
With
oh my gosh, it's crazy inappropriate. Yeah.
And I was a kid. I saw that movie over and over. You know how kids just lock on to one movie and they just want to watch that one movie? For me, Howard the Duck was one of them. There's some weird stuff.
So much about you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Now I understand why you're so messed up. Your parents really dropped the ball letting you do that.
I mean, they thought that was going to be a big hit. They marketed the heck out of that movie. That was a huge marketing push for that thing. I remember just posters and paraphernalia everywhere trying to push that thing when it came out. And nobody liked it.
It was horrible.
Someone, I'm presuming, is smart, who made good decisions, I'm guessing, because they typically made it to that point, right? Looked at all of Marvel's properties and were like, you know what? Howard the Duck. That's the one we need. Ugh. All right.
This is George Peterson. I want my daughter on the front steps of that school in 10 minutes.
All right, guys. This is actually a good one. This is the actual real estate question of the night. And hey, you're here. I'm going to play it again.
I'm
a human person.
Here,
what?
And I'm going to put money on he's going to get this one.
You know, I hope so, based on some previous information that he conveyed. Just following up on that commercial. If you would like to deal with a human person, if you buy or sell a house, that's me. All right, so cutting to the prize cam. This is a beautiful bag created by Christine, featuring yogurt, the Yoda baby. It's got she made me a bag, and it's my notary bag now. I just carry all my notary stuff in. So it's pretty cool. It's a nice little addition to your life. Matt, are you into Yoda babies?
Yeah, I love Grogu.
Grogu, not yogurt. Okay, Josh, you lied to me.
Well, yogurt is from Spaceballs.
Yeah,
that's one of Mel Brooks's characters in Spaceballs, and he would have referred to this as like Spaceballs, the pencil bag.
He would. You are correct. Oh, and
right.
Kaylee's is correcting you there.
Gogurt. Okay.
Hey, look who else is here with us tonight. Aaron is on. How you doing, Aaron?
Hey. Me, Aaron. Don't tell people that I'm lying about being human. It is imperative for my robot people's success for me to fool you guys. Okay, Matt, you said you lived in Huntsville. Do you not live in Alabama anymore?
I live in Birmingham.
You know, Alabama is more than just Huntsville in it. You know that, right, Jeremy?
I mean, he moved out of Huntsville. He could have moved anywhere. I don't know. I mean, we're a digital product. He could be in anywhere. Okay.
Hi, Aaron.
For this beautiful Gogurt bag, what DC Comics legacy character made the real-world town Manchester, Alabama, their adopted home when they were given their solo title from 1995 to 2002?
Oh. Now, what did you say about Manchester?
Manchester, Alabama is the home that this character picked to be their own home. They said, you know what? This is where I want to live.
I think that Mark Waid actually said that he didn't realize that this was a real town when he created it. He thought he was just making up a name of a town. And
That's much better.
There was a little bitty town named Manchester when he coined it, but it didn't matter. It's Impulse.
Yes, sir. You got it right. Super correct. It's only about 20 miles north of Birmingham. So I don't know if you've ever been there. You could just drive through it.
They have a giant statue.
The creator didn't know where it was. Mark's from Hueytown, so he didn't know where it was because he didn't know it existed.
I mean, I didn't know it existed.
So the question is, do they have a giant statue of Impulse in front of the courthouse like Metropolis has a giant statue of Superman in front of their courthouse?
They should.
Yeah, Impulse is on the same level in terms of respect and recognition. That's amazing.
Everybody's saying hi to each other now. Dean is saying, hey, Matt.
Hey, Trey.
Zachary is saying hi to Aaron. Everybody, like that time at church where they tell you all to stand up and shake hands with everybody and say hi and
peace be with you.
So, peace, everybody. Let's see. I don't think the Beatles are blue. I don't even know where that came from. I feel like I missed something.
I mean, maybe talking about Blue Beetle.
Oh, that could be. The Impulse voice actor is going to be at Huntsville Expo. For a second, I thought he was saying Impulse, Virginia. And I'm like, where is Impulse, Virginia? Is that a thing? I've never heard of that.
Hey, Justin, who is the voice actor?
Isaac. He doesn't know. He just knows he's going to be there. No, if Justin knows anything, if anything goes into his head, it stays there forever for the most part.
I bet he answers real quick.
Alan is like hi to everybody. He's covering down on the whole thing.
Oh man.
What's up,
All
everybody?
Right.
Hello.
for question 8, we have a kind of cool thing. I also did this in the challenge that I did with Tom. I don't know if he's still here. I feel like, Tom, say hi if you're here. This is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and just throw this up big, a print that I made of Dr. Fate, who is now going to be played by Pierce Brosnan. That's kind of a thing. Pierce Brosnan is playing Dr. Fate. But he's just
if you scroll up there, that looks just like Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I was going for. I didn't even know he was played by him.
That looks just like.
So I'm into this.
Yes.
You
definitely Dr. Fate.
Yep. There's Dr. Fate. Okay, and then
the voice actor for Max from the Goofy movie. If you just definitely desperately need the autograph of Max from the Goofy movie.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron is my 4th biggest fan. She's working on 3rd. Okay, so and also I think Alan asked me earlier if I would have those at the expo. I'm sorry, guys. I was not vaccinated when I had to make the final decision about going to the expo. I will end up being vaccinated, but not in time. So I'm sorry, I got to do it next year. My bad. We'll miss all of you. And Jason says
that if people want it, they could pick it up at Haven, right? We could put some up at Haven. That seems like a thing that we could do.
You know,
the print, not the vaccine. Don't go to Haven for the vaccine.
Yeah, we just hand out sugar pills at Haven, and they're called. There's those little things you get at Valentine's that say "Be Mine" and take a hike and all that kind of stuff. So ours just say COVID-19. You take that and it's magical. It heals you. A lawyer can call me now, like, do not hand out candy and tell people that it heals them from COVID-19. I'm like, dude, I know that it was a joke. For the love of all things holy, it was a joke.
Jeffrey, where are you? What's your take on that? Jeffrey, friend of the show, is a lawyer.
Oh, that's right. We have a lawyer watching. Yes. Jeffrey, can you please keep me out of legal trouble? Thank you.
Stop talking. That's his answer.
Anything I say can and will be used against me in the court of YouTube.
It's all recorded.
Oh, no.
Right. Don't come to Haven for vaccines.
Get a print free with a shot. If you let us give you an injection, we'll give you a print.
Travis, that might be fun. I mean, Josh and I might talk about that. Treat it like a what's that thing where they sell art? A gallery, maybe.
Yep. Kaylisa's keeping us out of trouble again. No. 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 The lawyer's saying no comment. No, dude, lawyer, your job is to comment. Keep me from commenting. You need to shut me up.
Jeffrey, you now have a job on the show. It's to keep Josh quiet.
Yes. Alan, your Robin Hood print is sitting on top of the boxes. It's right on top of your box right now. So next time you come in, it is there waiting for you. Yeah. So good. That's. Whew.
And Josh and I'll talk. Maybe I'll put some art up for sale there. That's pretty cool because if you weren't going to die of COVID, you can now die of donut blood. So that's fun.
Diabetes, and you can check your blood sugar with this handy device. We're handing out medical stuff today like that.
Where's Kaylisa to tell us to shut up? I saw her say something about it.
She was like, per Haven Public Relations.
Oh, man. What?
Also, we got this.
Yes, so I got a bunch of prizes. I got a backlog of prizes. The one thing about getting the prizes is
Aaron,
you have to get them. You have to come get them. If you live far away and you can't come get them, message us. We'll figure it out. But if you're around and you could spend, like 10 minutes popping in the store, showing your smiling face, then come get your stuff. Why not?
Matt will be the only one left, and he's like, okay, I guess I'm running the show now.
Oh, man. Speaking of running the show, question 8, right? Mm-hmm. Let's get us out of trouble.
I was saying I am vaccinated at least, so.
I go in Thursday and get shot number 2.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Zachary comes by the store every week to pick up his prizes because he is like a prize-winning fool in this in the chat.
Yep.
Dude is on top of it. I'm really anxious. He brought a prize to donate for us for theoretically for this week, but it'll be for next week.
Yeah,
And I'm excited to
spoil
see
it because it's great.
I'm excited to see it.
If we say what it is, it doesn't do it justice. We have to unveil it because it is beautiful. I'm excited about
From what I understand, if we unveil it in the right circumstances, people will die.
Hey, Lisa, where are you?
Now
he's talking about killing people as they get the stuff.
I didn't say I would kill people. I just said people would die. That's active voice versus passive voice. And by passive voice just means it's going to happen. It's predicting the future. It's not rocket surgery. Come on, man. Yeah, next week's contestant is a real troublemaker. Lord, he's a troublemaker. Y'all are going to love seeing him on here. He better promote the heck out of his appearance on the show, though. That's all I'm saying. But so for the Dr. Fate drawing, the very true to life, looks exactly like Pierce Brosnan drawing of Dr. Fate. All you have to do is answer this question correctly, Matt. In 101 Dalmatians, how many of the multitudinous puppies actually belong to Purdy and Pongo? How many are their puppies as the ones that just got scooped up from other places?
Oh, it's 15.
I don't know how you knew that. That is spot on.
One of them doesn't make it, and I remember the housekeeper saying something like 14, and then they do this magic where they just rub the dog and bring it back to life, and then 15. They're very excited about 15.
So
that's amazing.
It is magic, Mr. Miyagi. Puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So 15, that is the right answer. A bunch of wrong answers here.
You've got some new art to hang up tonight because you got that Cowboy Bebop and now you've got Dr. Fate. I don't know where your wife's going to let you put that. Maybe on the back of the bathroom door?
Well, the stairway leading down to the basement is the comic art wall.
Oh, cool.
So it's like the gauntlet you have to pass through to get to all the Disney stuff.
Yeah, and she does have one thing. When the one time that she came with me to Comic-Con in San Diego, where she insisted we're going to spend one day at that, and then we're going to the zoo and we're going to Balboa Park and we're going to be done with this comic nonsense. But she spent that one day, and she met Stan Goldberg, who drew Archie when she was a kid. And she fell in love and thought, this is the best thing ever. And he drew her a picture of Betty and signed it. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. And so we've got a picture of Betty that Stan Goldberg drew up on the wall there too, along with all the other stuff I've got up there.
How spectacular is that?
So after that, we managed to spend the entire 4-day weekend at Comic-Con because she loved it.
Well played. Well done, Matt. That's one of the greatest success stories I think I've ever heard. That
the
makes
single
me happy.
Greatest human success story.
Yeah, that just makes me happy. That's wonderful.
Does she love comics too?
No.
No.
But she loved Archie. I mean, she's got like a Tupperware bin, like a big bin of all her Archies from when she was little.
See, that's awesome. Good for her. There's something in comics for everybody.
Ordered or anything. She doesn't take care of them, but.
Well, it's okay because they're Archie. Although I will say there's been a resurgence lately of Archie comics that are selling for good money.
I wonder if that's because of Riverdale.
No, it's not. I can tell you expressly why it is. It's because there's some really unfortunate innuendo on those covers that was totally innocent in 1955 or 1965 or what have you, but now it just reads like, oh my God, he just said what? There's just Google Archie and innuendo covers. You'll see what I'm talking about. Why am I still talking? Do not do that if you are under 18. But yeah, it's something. But some of those are selling for good money because of it.
Quick plug. Archie comics are still coming out. You can still get them. So she wants them. Did you know that the Archie comic, just comic artists now, they don't get paid until it goes to print. And if it never goes to print, they never get paid. Archie Comics is the absolute worst in the industry about paying artists.
They screwed over Andy Price, I believe, if I remember correctly. I know a few people, but I think Andy Price was one of them that he did some art for them and they never paid him. And so he was like, hey, what up?
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, yeah, sorry, we owe you money. Here you go. I think it was
worse
Andy.
than Disney.
Might be. I think it was Andy.
Yeah.
It might have been somebody else, but I think it was Andy.
They do it to everyone. They're real bad.
It's not cool. Not cool at all, bro. So what's our next question here, Jeremy? What's our next prize?
That's a good question. I think Tom is gone.
Why doesn't Tom hang around? He should hang around. We should have him as a guest on the show.
I've mentioned it, and he could win his own stuff, like this beautiful.
Well, I mean, if he's on the show, we wouldn't force him to take his own stuff home.
I would take every single thing that I own that's a Tom Price thing.
Dude, that cover right there is sick.
Right? That's got a lot of mood.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love the use of the negative space there. Mm-hmm. No, that's gorgeous.
I really struggle with the colored comics for drawing on those for the sketch covers because it creates a mood, and you just kind of have to work with whatever it is. I mean, the background's green, and you're trying to you're trying to work with that. But he is amazing at it.
No, definitely, Brandy. Not saying that. Not saying that at all.
Gross overreaction.
No, not saying that. No, Brandy, no. That would be terrible. I want him to still have a home to live in. That would be awful. That's what everybody. God almighty. Oh, Lord have mercy. What a day. Okay. All right. So, Travis, for that incredible cover, that would be a great companion cover to the Batman you have. Yes, it would.
All right. Question
Matt's
9.
going to win it, so it's too late for you. Sorry.
Matt, I believe in you. You've got this. What actor famously turned down the role of Indiana Jones after accepting the title role in a TV show?
I know you know this.
I do, but I get him confused. There's two actors that, to me, look very much alike. And
we'll talk it out. We can talk it out.
Well, one of the two, I got to figure out which is which. Tom Selleck is one of these two guys I get mixed up. Then it's probably him because he's the first one that comes to mind. But there's another one. Was Tom Selleck the one who was on? We're always wearing the Hawaiian shirts.
Who's the other guy you're thinking of?
I can't think of his name.
Well, that makes your answer easy. Go with the one you remember. I'm dying to know who this other guy could be.
Maybe the right answer.
It could be. You never know.
I'll have to go with Tom Selleck.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's right. Okay.
It is Tom Selleck.
Now I'm
you
wondering
knew it in your heart and soul.
Could have been more likely.
They actually shot screen test between him and the woman who played Marion. And I've got that on one of the DVD sets. They had that footage of that screen test included as a bonus feature on the DVD set. So I've seen it. I've got it. It's bizarre. Imagine Indiana Jones. Think everything you know about Indiana Jones and swap out Harrison Ford for Tom Selleck. Put Magnum P.I. in there and with that mustache.
I don't want that movie because of course Harrison Ford is perfect in that role, but I think Tom Selleck could pull that off. I mean, it would just be a slightly different character. but
He would,
it'd be good. It just wouldn't be what it is now.
which I love.
I don't know that it'd be awful.
No, I don't know that it would be awful. I suspect it would have been. We would have all loved it. I have such a hard time because Harrison Ford is so closely associated with the role now, and it's just ingrained in the public consciousness. I have a hard time picturing somebody else in the role. It's really tough. Really tough.
Though is the other actor. I'm confused with him.
Oh, Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boogie Nights.
Gotcha. Boogie Nights. Yeah, that was good. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah. That's a great way to say that. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. That's good. So that brings us up to our last question.
All right.
That's how's everybody feel? Do we feel like we've traveled through this laborious journey and we've gotten here, and where it's like you can see the arch over the road that says "Welcome to Disney World," and you're almost there. How you feeling, Matt? You still got the stamina? You got one more in you?
Who writes the questions? Owen.
Owen.
Yep.
Yeah, Owen said I was guaranteed to get number 10, so I'm feeling pretty good.
All right. Yeah, I would have to
it.
say it's probably a cakewalk for you, but we'll see.
I also love that, Josh, you just said, have we worn you down too much?
Well, we almost got yanked off camera, and he was going to have to ask his own questions and answer them, and that would have been a challenge.
It'd be fun to see.
That would have been tough. I mean, he would have had to do the camera thing. What happened on this date? I don't know. It would have been tough. But he's a veteran. I trust him. He could do it.
All right. So
I was Googling stuff today, looking up like what could they ask me about? What are some of the questions they might ask me? You know, like what Spider-Man villain has a pet corgi or something like that.
I like the this one here. Is it when did Haven open? And if he said April 2nd, I would have said 12 o'clock. Aha! Take that.
Did you guys have a midnight open?
No. God, no. See,
we did like a party.
We did.
Sort of.
I recently found pictures from it, by the way. I recently found pictures from that, by the way, and that was funny. Everybody in those pictures looked so young, and they were children. They weren't us. I don't know who those people were. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I dug up some pictures from that party the other day. It was really cool. So our grand prize tonight, did we show what our prize is?
Let's cut back to it. So it is going to be Secret Six, signed by Gail Simone. Gail Simone is famously a take no shit kind of personality that has
family-friendly show, Jeremy.
She doesn't take anything she doesn't want to take personality, and she rifles some feathers. But she's a great writer. Like, she does some really cool projects. I love a lot of the stuff that she's made, and it's really I'm really psyched to see this here. So, Matt,
I tell you,
she
wrote recently. She wrote a book that I thought, okay, that's just a terrible idea. Why would you put those two things together? Who let them put those two things together? Why did she want to put those two things together? But it was fantastic. It was her writing it, and it was Aaron Lopresti doing the art. And it was a Wonder Woman and Conan mashup. It was a crossover between Wonder Woman and Conan. Really insane. But for that awesome Gail Simone signed book, what is the name of the fictional music group Jen Henson created for The Muppet Show? What is the name of the rock band in the Muppet Show?
Do you know, no one has caught this but me. I even tried to contact some of these YouTube people who analyze frame by frame of movies to say that Coco has a scene with, I think it's called the Riverwood Midnight Band from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I'm just stalling because this question is easy.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
They are in there they play like 2 notes of a song. But I thought, oh my gosh, they did not just drop a Emmett Otter Jug Band Christmas Easter egg in Coco, but it's in there. It's in there.
I'm going to have to go back and watch Coco. Where is that? Is that at the concert?
It's when they're like, I think everybody's auditioning for something, or almost like some sort of contest.
Yeah. Okay.
They play like 2, maybe 3, but I think it's just 2 notes of that song that the Riverwood Midnight Band plays in Emmett Otter. And if you freeze it, you're like, those guys look suspiciously like those guys from the Christmas special.
Oh, I'm going to have to go and check that out now. That's awesome. See, I learned something new. I always learn something new on these shows. Like how many planets Uranus has, how many moons.
But yeah, for years I have argued that Disney needs to remove Aerosmith from the Rock and Roller Coaster and replace it with Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. I think that would be such a better ride. It'd be so much fun.
I can't even begin to argue with you. That would be amazing. Have you sent them letters? Strongly worded emails?
I mean, but you could like ride their tour bus.
Yeah.
That they painted with all the bubbles and stuff.
And think of all the visuals you could have in the attraction. Who doesn't want to ride through Muppet craziness on that roller coaster? That would be amazing. I mean, I'm with you.
All it's going to take is one day if one of those guys has like some sort of scandal and they've got to cut them, then maybe they'll bring in Dr. Teeth. But until then.
Well, congratulations on getting that. And we're waiting for the prize cam to tabulate the number of answers and people that won them. And we'll have that for you soon.
So another bonus question that only Matt will get the answer to, I think, at this point, is in whose garage did we store comic books for 6 months prior to opening Haven?
Well, that was Damon and Julie Hawk.
Just right down the street and around the corner from you, that brand new built house with a garage the cars had never been parked in. And for 6 months, we kept them from being able to park their cars in their garage. While Damon had this huge library of 30,000 comics that he would go through alphabetizing, bag and boarding, and mostly reading. No, that was great. And another question, before we actually opened the store at the location, we sold some stuff from Damon's house, from his living room, to a handful of people who had been invited over.
I think this was at my living room, but that's irrelevant to your question. I know the answer to your
question. Who was the first person who actually bought a thing from us?
That was Ingrid.
Correct. See, we remember these.
Ingrid's last name.
Gory.
Yes.
Ingrid Gory. But yes. Wait. Owen, you know Damon Hook too? Damon is the bomb. Love Damon.
Is it?
Yeah, look, Matt may be the king of the quiz.
Now our first customer at the store would have been Alice Price.
Correct. Yep.
And I think she bought the last issue, the final issue of The Dreaming was the first comic we sold when the store was open.
I believe you are correct.
I think it would have been like number 79 or 80. I don't know how many issues The Dreaming went, but that was what she thought. She said,
"Oh yeah, that's right." Yeah, Owen knows Damon because Owen had a comic book that he was like he felt ambivalent about, but it was a graded book, and he's like, "Do you know anybody who would want this book?" And I'm like, "I know exactly the guy who would want this book," and it was a Starman comic, and you know Damon loves him some Starman. So Owen just randomly sent him that book, a CGC graded Star Brand book, and Damon just checking his mail one day, just what in the, oh my God, he freaked. He loved it.
That was amazing.
It was. Owen made some magic happen for the world in ways other than asking questions on this quiz show. So have we got our results in?
We do. And
best prize cam in the business in all respects. Taking on additional responsibility. What a prize cam.
I feel like for this episode, we have to do the audience first because we got Chris Barr
Matt racked up.
Things. He may or may not have done well. We got to see. Based on the tabulations here. We've got Travis Goodwin won that cool G.I. Joe mystery box. Travis, if you open it, let us know what's inside. But if you never open it, then you'll always have the joy of knowing you could. So just, take that with you.
And you can torture Jeremy with it by never opening it. Just say, hey, look what I have never opened. And the longer you go without opening it, the more painful it will be for him.
Yeah, you could do that. You could torture me. And for the Canadian question, we had 2 right answers. Ashley and Ryan both won a $25 gift card to Haven Comics. So congratulations to all of the audience members who managed to squeak in there today. And then also no one won the stickers. So no one come pick up your stickers. And then, so we're going to get to Matt.
I just would like to talk about Ryan for a second.
Ryan
Reynolds? Are we talking about Canadians again?
No.
Ryan
We're
Reynolds?
talking Ryan Comics and Death Metal Williams, who wins the Canadian question, I think, more than anyone. That dude, like, a few more of these, and he's going to be buying slab books off the walls with these things. He is just racking up. He's the man. Also, if you are a subscriber to Two Brothers Comics, they dropped a video this week that they shot at Haven a few weeks ago, and Ryan is a guest star in the video. If you're not a member, it'll be showing up for you, I think, next week. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's a video about the fear of missing out and having to get all the key books. It was a lot of fun. Dustin was hysterical, and Nick did a killer job with the editing on that. The little sound effects and all that. It was great.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I want to take another crack at Ashley's last name, Seja.
Yes,
right?
That's what she said.
Perfect. Nailed it. I got a question right, too. Okay, and so now, Matt, you got the Spike Spiegel art. You got the MODOK variant cover. You got the baby yogurt Yoda pouch. You got the Dr. Fate print. You got the Joker original sketch cover. And you got the Secret Six signed by Gail Simone. So, in my opinion, you did A. I wish the audience could have seen you two dancing the entire time.
I would say, Matt, now you have to do the Damon jig.
Oh, what? I don't remember it. I don't know the Damon jig.
You don't remember the Damon jig?
Um,
We're going to have Damon on here as a guest in a few weeks, and when we do, we will get him.
Probably something like this. I don't know.
Well, it's more like.
Show us again.
It has no discernible pattern, and it looks like you're twitching. But when Damon does it, it's the best thing in the world. It's hysterical.
Well, have him do it.
Oh, we will. We absolutely will.
That's the best answer I've seen tonight, for sure.
Oh, we will. Yeah, that's great stuff. The concentration is the key. That's exactly right. That's the concentration to the Damon jig, is you have to look like you're thinking about it really hard and like you're trying to find a beat, but you just can't. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, for sure.
Before we bail tonight, I got a couple of quick PSAs. Number one, come pick up your stuff.
I do too.
We got stuff for you, so please come get it. We like to give stuff to you. Number 2, please check out my Kickstarter, Passion Fruit. It is a one-shot romance comic. It is drawn by Igor Kurlin in the Ukraine. He's a cool guy. He did a good job. I'm
Number 3.
What?
Number 3.
Is that Oh, yeah.
The Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo is next week, April 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's going to be spectacular. You should be there. It looks like we've lost Jeremy, or we've lost Matt. Somebody send medical help. Oh, he's back. He recovered. The diabetes didn't get him for long. The diabetes. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you are watching us later, if you're not watching us live and joining in the insanity of our comments that we always have such a blast with, join us when you can. Throw your name in the hat. Try to win something. I know we have a few people who watch on Fridays, I think because work is painful for them. But no, Matt is not going to burn his wife's comics. That would not be right. She would murder him.
Brandy's comments, and then you go back to her avatar. Brandy is a serious person.
Don't mess with Brandy. I know I grew up with Brandy. She lived right down the street from me, and we used to play together all the time. So, she would not really stab you, but she might get somebody else to do it. But yeah, Matt caught the HCPC. He got the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Yeah, you got to watch out for that. Disease. What happened? I followed out. Oh, it's the big one, Elizabeth. Oh, Lord. Well, thank you guys for joining us. It's fun, as always. Matt, you were awesome. I'm so glad to get to talk to you for our 20th anniversary. I'm so glad you're able to join us. So thanks for that.
Yeah,
appreciate
I can't tell you enough how glad I am to see that Haven is still going after 20 years. I mean, it really brings me joy to see that it's just still doing great. And I really miss it.
Well, we miss having you, man. You come up anytime. You're welcome whenever. You know, we still got a couch in there. Come on
Matt,
up.
I just met you, and I wish you still ran the store. So,
it's so good to see you guys. Thank y'all for joining us. Jeremy will never be back. Oh, he's back now. He came back. You ain't right, boy.
Have a good week, everyone.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you